Every human heart beats with the same quiet longing to be free, free to think, to move, to create, and to live in truth. And yet each morning we wake inside invisible webs, laws, expectations, economic demands, social roles, and the inner whisper that says, you can't. Here lies the paradox. How can we experience real freedom in a world that's built on limits? The answer isn't simple or static. Freedom isn't a destination, it's a practice, a living, breathing process of awareness, courage, and choice. And true freedom begins inside. It's not about escaping the world, it's about moving through it consciously, with eyes open and heart awake. The world is layered with visible and invisible fences, systems and laws that define what's allowed, economic dependence that can tether us to survival, and cultural expectations that tell us who to be, and information control that constantly shape what we believe. Freedom begins by seeing the cage, not with despair, but with clarity, because once you see it, you can start choosing how to move within it or beyond it. Not all prisons have walls. Some live quietly in the mind. Fear of judgment or rejection, beliefs that whisper, you're not enough, and stories that we inherit from family, from school or culture. And these inner bars can be stronger than any external rule. But here's the truth. You wrote the story, so you can rewrite it. Freedom begins when you start questioning the voice that says, stay small. Freedom always starts with you, not with changing the world, but with understanding the one within you. Who are you beneath the noise, the labels, the expectations? You can begin to explore. Use mindfulness. Watch your thoughts pass like clouds. Perhaps try journaling. Write your truth, raw, unfiltered, real. And the concept of shadow work. Face the parts that you hide, because that's what holds your power. And the more clearly you can see yourself, the less the world can define you. Awareness isn't a luxury, it's liberation. So who gets to define your reality? True freedom begins when you reclaim authorship over your beliefs. You can ask yourself, do I actually believe this, or was it handed to me? Who benefits when I stay small? What would I choose if fear weren't steering me? Even when outer limits remain, you can choose your attitude, your focus, and your truth. That's the quiet revolution of inner authority. Acceptance isn't resignation, it's clarity. It's saying, this is what's here now. How will I meet it? When you stop fighting reality, you free the energy spent on resistance, and that energy becomes creativity, vision, and calm strength. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop changing the world. It means you see it clearly and are able to change it wisely. In the age of curated narratives and digital noise, freedom requires discernment. To stay awake, practice seeing beneath the surface. Question everything. Who benefits from this story? What's missing? Seek diversity. Listen to voices outside your comfort zone. And trust your intuition. Facts matter. But so does that deep inner knowing. Freedom thrives when your mind is your own. You don't have to believe or reject. Just see clearly. Set boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls. They're sacred lines that protect your energy. Every time you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what feeds your soul. And that might mean releasing toxic connections, unplugging from media that manipulates, and letting go of obligations that no longer align. Each boundary you draw is a quiet act of self-respect, and every act of self-respect is a step towards freedom. To create is to breathe without permission. Art, music, writing, dance, these aren't hobbies. They're rebellion in motion. When you create, you touch the unconditioned self, the part of you the world cannot script. Even 5 minutes of creation can reconnect you with your essence. Every word, every note or brushstroke whispers, I am free. And freedom expands when it's shared. Find or create spaces, in person or online, where honesty and curiosity are welcome. Real connection dissolves the illusion of isolation. When free minds gather, courage multiplies. Liberation, it turns out, is contagious. Freedom doesn't always roar in rebellion. Sometimes it moves quietly, strategic, creative, unseen. You don't always have to burn the system down. Sometimes you plant new seeds within it. Learn the rules, then find the cracks where possibility grows. Many visionaries have lived in, but not of the system, changing it from within, one courageous choice at a time. And money isn't evil, it's energy, and how you direct it can either expand or limit your freedom. Financial autonomy isn't about hoarding wealth, it's about choosing with integrity. Start small, learn how money flows and what it means to you. Build skills that travel anywhere. Save, invest, and diversify with intention. The less dependent you are on a single source, the freer you become to live truthfully. In an age of surveillance and distraction, sovereignty extends to your digital life. Protect what matters. Guard your privacy and data. Use tools that honor your security. Be conscious of where your attention goes. It's your most valuable currency. Freedom in the modern world begins with mindful presence, knowing when to share and when to step back and when to simply breathe offline. At the deepest level, freedom isn't earned, it's remembered. You are not your roles, your history, or your thoughts. You are the vast awareness that holds them all. Meditation, contemplation, or stillness can reveal this. Your essence has never been imprisoned. And when you realize this, even chaos becomes space, and limitation becomes illusion. Freedom stops being something you choose. It becomes something you are. The world runs on fear, fear of loss, rejection, and not enoughness. But love is the great refusal. Love says, I choose truth over comfort. I choose compassion over cynicism. I choose to see beauty even when it's hidden. To live from love is to step beyond control. It's the ultimate act of rebellion, to stay open when the world tries to close you in. Seeking freedom doesn't mean avoiding life. Sometimes, in our longing to be free, we try to escape the very things that teach us how. We confuse detachment with indifference, or spiritual peace with withdrawal. True freedom isn't floating above life, it's being fully in it, awake and unafraid. You can pay your bills, love deeply, make mistakes, and still be free. Because freedom isn't about leaving the world, it's about no longer being lost in it. Freedom isn't waiting beyond the horizon, it's here, in your breath, your choices, your awareness. It's not a prize to win, but a rhythm to live by, a dance between surrender and action, solitude and connection, courage and grace. Some days freedom feels like stillness, other days like fire, but always it's found in the choice to live truthfully, to love fully, and to stay awake. So walk gently, question deeply, love wildly, because the world may not always be free, but you can always be free within it. See you next time.